It's getting very disappointing, isn't it, that the Conservative Party is failing on almost every level at basic propriety. There's now, last night, there was reported to be yet another person who is being investigated by the Gambling Commission. This is a person called Nick Mason, the Conservative Party's chief data officer. And what the Gambling Commission apparently is doing is going through a list of about 200 names of people who put bets down on the date of the general election for about £200. But the amount of money really shouldn't matter. What matters is that there's a possibility that people are using information that they knew in order to make a quick buck. It's cheap, it's vulgar, and it's beneath the dignity of people who are involved in appealing to electors to trust them. It's beneath the dignity of candidates to be involved in that sort of scurrilous, cheap, and nasty advantage. It is. Well, Michael Gove has come out in the pages of the Sunday Times this morning saying that this is as bad as Partygate. Partygate wasn't particularly what damaged Boris Johnson. What damaged Boris Johnson was the lies about Partygate. But Partygate certainly set that ball in motion. And I think it's Partygate itself is not the problem. What's the problem is the idea of advantage, of the idea that one rule for them, another rule for me, and the idea that the people who we are supposed to trust are not trustworthy. The exposure of the cheapness and the vulgarity and this nonsense about control. And I was thinking this morning as I was looking at the news. I'm afraid the image of Maggie Smith as Miss Jean Brodie came into my mind, and she's very much in the middle of my thoughts. And she's got so many. There's so many extraordinary lines in that film, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. I don't know whether any of them are really relevant, but here you've got an image of a person who manifests control and yet at the same time is carrying on with a sort of, it is a manifestation of hypocrisy. And her assumptions are wrong, and at the same time she's a bully, and she's frankly abusive. She is charismatic, and she is astonishing, and the performance is remarkable. But her lines are loaded with double entendres and pithy aphorisms, which are just slightly wrong. From the moment she walks into the class, this was the line that really stood out for me. So when I was thinking about it, the moment she walks in, she gets irritated about the window being open, and she says, 6 inches enough for anyone. It's quite adequate. It's an extraordinary line. Hey, Miss Brodie, and my girls are all the creme de la creme. And Maggie Smith used the same accent, a Morningside accent, when she did Professor McGonagall. And of course, by that point, the voice had dropped slightly, and so she said, Harry Potter. It's a remarkable performance. What I find so wonderful about Maggie Smith is that in early interviews, she acknowledges her debt to her friend, Kenneth Williams. And Kenneth Williams, the fellow who we know from Carry On. No, matron, no. He believed that every word should be coloured and different, and you make the most of every word, whatever it is. And he was this remarkable mimic. And I wonder what Kenneth Williams would, for example, do with Michael Gove. One rule for them and another for us. Oh yes, it is. Oh, yeah. And it's because when you transfer this absurdity of the political hypocrisy to the characterization that you get in the movies, it all sort of comes to life that what you've got is corruption, hypocrisy, filth. It's just filth, filth. Oh, it is. Or 6 inches is quite adequate. Mary McGregor. It's just filth. And Michael Gove sums it up. Michael Gove was there in the middle of it all. So it's not appropriate for him to stand back and pontificate. He created this mess as much as any of them did. And the fact that Sunak is not prepared to say that there wasn't a cabinet member who put money, who had a flutter on the date of the general election. He wasn't prepared to commit himself to that because he doesn't know. Because he knows it's all possible. Because he knows what a pigsty he is presiding over. They're all pigs with their noses in the trough. It's just a matter of which one has taken a bite first. That's it. Because he knows his people. They're filth. And we're supposed to vote for them.